är vi tillbaka här i direktstudios med Aktieportföljen live och nästa bolag att presentera med oss på länk den här gången är Fluicell och vi kommer att köra den här presentationen på engelska. So very welcome to you, Victoire. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
So I'm going to hand over to you and you're going to do your presentation and then I'll come back with a couple of questions at the end.
Okay, super. So good morning, we're still the morning. So my name is Victoire Viannay. I am CEO since 2017 and I will now present you a company called Fluicell AB. So before starting the presentation, here is the usual disclaimer. So Fluicell is an exciting life science company from Göteborg specialized in developing technology, and we are offering products and services for drug discovery, bioprinting and regenerative medicine. And we have an outstanding client portfolio in both the academia and the pharmaceutical industry. So the company was founded in 2012 as a spin-off of Chalmers University of Technology. So it is 10 years of empowering biological and pharmaceutical research from the ground up by joining biology and technology together. So all this is possible because of the use of microfluidics, which is the technology we are using behind our instrument. So Fluicell has, since the start, provided researchers with advanced tools to study biology in great detail. So here on this slide, you can see our platform called BioPen being used to study how a cell moves in response to chemical in its environment. So Fluicell turned 10 years this year. And we have isolated on this slide a few key events that has happened over the years. So these events are mostly around product launching and important grant and collaboration agreement. But more generally, the company started as a single cell technology pioneer, transforming from pure tech to therapy and disease model focused biotech company, led by our bioprinting platform called BioPixlar and a unique know-how. So we have been developing the company organically throughout the years, working on business expansion through market penetration and market development, and through innovation, through product development and earning optimization. So on the right side of the slide, this is the type of customer we have managed to attract over the years. And here we are talking about key opinion leaders, leading universities, leading research institute, and pharmaceutical company in the world. And of course, we are committed to continue increasing the number of installed base instruments by expanding our reach geographically, and by developing new applications for our product. So, and these 10 years of development and innovation has led us today to tissue-related disease lacking adequate care option and that are causing more than 20 million deaths every year. And this is what we are targeting. It's also 10 years of developing instruments positioned to advance science and drug development, where 90% of all drug candidates fail to pass clinical trial with increasing healthcare and pharmaceutical costs. And our launch product and product in the pipeline are also meeting the increasing demand for non-animal research models in the EU and in the USA through the 3R solution to replace, refine, and reduce the use of animal model. So we have solution based on 3 levels. So first, we are developing instruments for drug development and medical research. We have commercialized 5 platform products within single cell and bioprinting. All the technology behind the instrument is patent protected. Our IP portfolio is currently comprised of 17 approved patents. We have additional 10 patents which we control. We have 6 trademarks and several ongoing patent applications. So this is very important because it gives us freedom to operate and also the ability to develop more product. But moreover, it gives us the possibility to start initiating an IP strategy for license agreement. So the second level on this slide is the development of human tissue-based disease model for drug development. So this is an important aspect of our work being done with our bioprinting platform, BioPixlar, which you can see here as an image on the left side of the slide. And our goal is to have licensable models for renal and cardiac disease with an estimated launch in 2024. And finally, we have a third level with the development of human tissue-based transplant for regenerative medicine, within mainly the areas of cardiac regeneration and type 1 diabetes. So this is a long-term product development, and we are currently conducting in vitro studies with the goal to have biocomposite models ready to be tested in vivo at the beginning of 2024. So our products are targeting fast-growing market with double-digit growth annual growth rate. So Fluicell has shaped a flexible business model that generates revenue streams from direct instrument sales, but also from recurring order of consumable, from leasing agreement, from support services and CRO work. And in addition, we have revenue stream from R&D collaboration, which means from grants, from research and development agreements. And we have the goal to develop a new BioPixlar application to attract more customers. So that's one side. On the second side, we have our therapeutic and disease model product in development in different areas, which are building on the bioprinting platform and our unique know-how, which are addressing future healthcare needs. And we have strong revenue potential in these areas, in licensing agreements and business agreements, which are connected to all this development program. So the company business model is really how these two sides are creating an innovation ecosystem that strengthens in both perspectives. So after explaining what we are developing and which market we are targeting, of course, it's important to show you how bioprinting technology and how it works. So BioPixlar is our 3D single-cell bioprinting platform, which is capable of printing biological tissues and faithfully reproducing the biological microenvironment. And this bioprinting technology can create tissue at super high resolution, resembling human organs. And this is the key driver for rapid entry into fast-growing regenerative medicine and in vitro model market. So how is it working? So we have, I will start the movie. So in this movie, you can see BioPixlar unique capacity in action to print cells in very high detail. So as you can see, the user has precise control over where on the substrate the cells are being placed. So BioPixlar is an award-winning, versatile, and very easy-to-use bioprinting platform. It has been very well received. And here on this slide, you can see an example of a feedback we have received from Dr. Bertassoni, who is a rising star in research at Oregon Health and Science University. And Luis Bertassoni has been testing many bioprinters before finally adopting our instrument and using it now on an everyday basis. So, and everything I have been presenting is possible because of the fabulous employee I have in the company, because of the extremely strong senior management team and the very strong board of directors who is supporting us. And all these people have extremely strong background and extensive experience. And this year we have welcomed 2 new members in the senior management team and in the board of directors. I will present them to you. So first it's Nelson Koo. He has joined Fluicell in April this year as Chief Business Development and Sales Officer. So Nelson has an extensive experience, and right now, together with the rest of the sales team, they are doing a tour in Asia to strengthen our position in this market where we see an important growth potential. Also, we have been extremely glad to have Regina Fritz Danielsson, who have been joining the board of directors in May this year. So Regina is working at AstraZeneca. She's Senior Vice President and Global Head of Research and Early Clinical Development. And she's having an extremely valuable expertise in cardiovascular disease and research in general, which is extremely valuable for what we are doing right now as development at Fluicell. And I will finish this presentation by presenting you the roadmap for the 2 next years. So we have goals within 4 areas, which are the product and technology development goals, the regenerative medicine goals, the tissue-based research model goals, and the sales-related and financial goals. So this is reflecting what I have been presenting you in the presentation. So I won't go into details here because it will take too long, but for those who are interested to hear more about Fluicell, I really encourage you to read our prospectus, which has been published a little bit more than a week ago. And then you will see all the roadmap, all the goals explained in more details. So if you wish to invest in Fluicell, we have a subscription period that started yesterday and is running up to the 24th of October. And this emission is being done with Cedermera Fund Commission, and I encourage you to contact them.
Thank you so much, Victoire, for that presentation. And now I'm going to ask you a couple of questions that I have been delivered from the audience and people who are interested in your company. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. I have been a little bit fast with my presentation. I realized I just took 15 minutes. I'm sorry for that.
It's fine. Don't worry about that. It's better to keep it sweet and short. So first question is, yes, so last Thursday you did a press release saying that you had a breakthrough order in Australia. Can you tell us a bit more about this?
Yes, so it's an important sell because it's the first time we sell a bioprinter. So this product was launched earlier this year, so it's quite a new product. So we were extremely happy to receive an order from Australia. And this is important also for other reason, is that it will also increase our presence in Australia. This is important. It's going to add more visibility from Fluicell in this far away country. We have an install also instrument in New Zealand, which is even more far away than Australia. And this is really a part of the world which we know there is potential for business growth. So we are extremely happy that it starts to work there. And also it's a sign, I mean, Australia has been shut down for a lot during the COVID pandemic. So it's a sign for us that the country has reopened for business, and that is extremely good for us.
Speaking of the pandemic, thankfully we're kind of not in the pandemic anymore, but how did the corona pandemic affect your business? So strangely enough, in 2020, I would say that it hasn't affected us so much. We have managed to conduct business, and we have managed to close deals that we had already in the pipeline. So for us, it has been more challenging this last year in 2021. The reason for that is because we couldn't participate to meetings face-to-face and conferences face-to-face. So everything was
like this through Teams and this is good, but it's not the same because you need to be able to directly talk to researcher. You need to be able to demonstrate directly the instrument. And I can say that one thing good that the pandemic has been bringing to us is that it gave us the idea to develop BioPixar, because before we had a much bigger version of this bioprinting platform, which we are still selling. But we thought, okay, now that we need to do everything remotely, how can we develop a smaller version of our bioprinting technology with still the same capacity, but which is easy to ship, easy to demonstrate, easy to plug in, etc. But what I would like to say is that, so last year we had several deals in the pipeline, and there was a lot of grants that were connected to those deals, and a lot of this grant has failed, unfortunately, which is outside of our, our control, and as a direct result from the pandemic. So that has been a little bit disappointing. I know it has been disappointing from the shareholders equally. And now we see that the first half of 2022 has been still a little bit slow. Although Sweden was fully reopened, it was not the case everywhere else. But now since, I would say, April, May, it has really changed, and we have a feeling of back to normal business, which is why my sales team can be now. They are in Japan, Malaysia, and Singapore, which was not possible before. So
yeah, good to hear. It's unfortunate that you couldn't be here in Stockholm with me in the studio, but I mean this works as well.
No,
Teams works.
And I had COVID. My family has been in COVID last week actually, so I don't think it's
yeah.
Yes, exactly. So we have been sick quite much.
So like you mentioned in your presentation, and I've also read online that you are currently doing a rights issue that will end
absolutely.
on the 24th of October. How are you planning on spending the money?
Okay, so that's a good question. So first, I would say that what we are targeting here is that we have the right issue, which is happening now, to get 30 million before issuing costs if it's fully subscribed, and there is 80% of guarantee. So this 80% of guarantee would give us around 19 million after issuing cost. And then in connection to that, we have a warrant program that will strike in June to give us additional 20 million. And this money, we are planning, of course, on using it to advance all our program, which are expressed in the prospectus. So we have the regenerative medicine program. So this is a very ambitious program. I need more people in the R&D team because what we are developing now is the in vitro biocomposite in order to start the in vivo, and I need to accelerate this program. Then, of course, we are committing to increase the sales. And that is extremely important, and in connection to increasing the sales and having an increased sales team, which we have been completely restructuring this year, I will also use this money for that reason. And then we have also, in connection with the sales, we are planning on developing new BioPixar application. And this is important because the more we have application to demonstrate the usage of our instrument, who are very new instrument, the more we will attract customer, the more we will sell. And finally, the last point where we are going to use the money is to advance on our human in vitro models for drug development, and it's both in renal area and cardiovascular area.
So it sounds like you're probably going to do some recruiting, adding some new team members to your company. Is it difficult?
I will. I'm right now. I have been just recruiting. She started 2 weeks ago, a new application specialist in the sales team. I'm about to recruit a new person within the sales team now also. and will help with the sales and also the after sales, because we are planning that if we increase the sales, of course, and that's what we are planning, and that it's accelerating, we will need also someone to help with all the installation, the training, and all the after sales concern that you can have with the customer. So that's, and also I need to recruit people in the R&D. I need more strengths in cardiovascular area and diabetes area to help us continue moving on.
Is it difficult finding people in this area? It sounds like
it's challenging.
Yeah.
It's challenging. Well, we are used to it because, you know, in a company you have turnover. That's although most of the people are staying, you also always have some people to add or to replace in the company. It's a little bit challenging when you start to look for very specific competence in it. And it's true that for the regenerative medicine program, this is not necessarily extremely easy because, I mean, this is part of developing an ATMP, which is advanced therapy medicinal product, which is something completely new. So we are not expecting to get people who are precisely expert within ATMP, but more researcher who are expert within, for example, cardiovascular, cardiac research, or within diabetes 1 research, and that's possible to find.
And you've said that one of your goals for 2022 and 2023 is to increase awareness and strengthen the brand of Fluicell. How is that process coming along?
So that's a process we have been doing for years now. After we remain a small company, so it's taking a little bit more time than a big company who has enormous amount of money to put maybe in a marketing campaign. But we see that all the action we are doing throughout the years are paying off, and that Fluicell is getting recognized within a scientific community. We see that our publication, when we launch new products, etc., it's been picked up by scientific journalists who are talking about it. We have been credited an award for our biopixlar technology, so that has been also creating awareness. And creating awareness, it's also through, of course, all the presentation we are doing. It's all through all the meetings that we do with the research community. So it's a long process that we wish to continue by increasing communication and marketing effort, of course.
Yes, and on the financial side, one of your goals is to increase income diversification for Fluicell.
Yes.
Can you just talk a little bit about this, please?
So this is something I touch upon very fast in the presentation, and because this is something we have worked on during many years. We are not just selling instruments, and that's maybe what is difficult to grasp the full capacity of Fluicell. So we are selling instruments. This is one aspect. We're selling consumable that goes with the instrument. So this is one source of income. When people cannot or doesn't want to sell the instrument, we have also possibility of leasing agreement. This is a flexibility, part of being flexible that we have been developed, especially during the pandemic. Then in addition to that, we have the capacity of providing work for other people. So we have some companies who can come to us and says, look, I need that type of model. Can you do it for us? We are paying you by the hour. And this is a possibility, something that we do in-house. And then we have a grant agreement also running right now. It's a FETOPEN Horizon 2020, which we do with 3 other European Union partners. This is giving us additional income. We have also research agreements. We have just completed one research agreement with a big pharma company in Switzerland. And then we have also development agreement because people know how and say, okay, I would like to develop that kind of instrument. Can I come to you? And we say, okay, we can or we cannot develop that kind of instrument for you. So we have an enormous set of possibility of revenue. And then in the future, we are targeting to have income through license agreement, of course.
Thank you so much for clarifying that.
Yes.
I have one final question from a person in the audience, and apparently you received around 2.5 million Swedish kroners from an earlier American patent. And the question is, will this affect your patent portfolio in some kind of way, and why did you receive that money?
So the why, I cannot really reply to it. I think that I encourage to read the press release that we have done. It was a little bit more than a week ago. It was on a Saturday because we have a great confidentiality between the parties. So the why, I will not elaborate. Is our patent portfolio being affected? Absolutely not. It's completely intact. We have our patents are approved and are there. We have also several patent applications ongoing. So, and that's the life of a patent. We don't know when it will be granted, but this is ongoing at the EPO and at the USPTO. And we have even a plan now to patent even more because we think that it's extremely important to solidify even more our patent portfolio. And now we have had a collaboration with them, and we are working with extremely great patent attorney in Sweden with called Norens. We are extremely happy about that choice.
Thank you very much for answering all of my questions, and I wish you good luck moving forward with your company.
Thank you very much. Thank you for today.